Hello, I'm Steve.
And I'm Tracy.
And we are the Partners at War. Well, we are going to film a battle report.
It's been a long time.
It's been a very long time. We apologize for that. If you've seen any other videos, you'll know that we're both in education. Tracy's a teacher. I'm a school administrator, and our lives have been dominated with preparing for the school year with this virus.
Right.
But we want to take the day today to play a game. We haven't had too many opportunities to play.
No.
And we're going to go to a tournament tomorrow.
Right?
Just a one-day, three-game tournament at a game store with some really good players, though. That can be a cutthroat tournament. We went about a month ago, and we brought the two armies we're going to play today. In order to get battle reports out, we're going to focus more on armies that we know how to play.
Right.
It takes a lot more time to play an army for a battle report we're not familiar with.
Yeah, so even from building the list to learning, picking all of the special things to making sure we don't forget something on the table, that just takes a lot of time and energy that we just really feel like that is getting in the way of us putting out a battle report.
Correct. There have been a lot of the battle reports with armies we've played the first or second time that on the secret side, there might have been something we figured we really did wrong or we had to go back and redo. I mean, it just takes a long time. So we're going to focus on armies that we know how to play and getting us ready for tournament and tournament play. So we went to a tournament about a month ago, and the day before that tournament, we played these two armies. We are going to play, I am now playing Tilly with the Seraphon build.
Yep, and I am still playing my FEC.
And first couple games I played with Seraphon, I did the Coalesced or the Kodel's Claw. We'll talk a little bit about that. But this game, I brought my Starbound and the Lord Croak and the Slan Star Master, and I brought the army together and played against Tracy's ghouls. And how did that game go on that Saturday?
Okay, so trying to get ready for the tournament, Steve wanted to play through so that he could make sure he knew his rules well, and proceeded to wipe me right off the table.
Turn 2, I basically just killed and wiped her right off the table.
I was not very excited about going to the tournament the next day.
Oh no, Tracy got in this, my army's horrible and I'm not going to, and we're setting this up to explain what happens at the end of this tournament, that she just was like, I don't even know if I want to go, I don't know this army, it's so bad, and I was like, oh, come on, let's go. And on the way down there, she was like, you're just going to go in there and destroy everybody. And it ended up, we went down against a lot of really good players.
Yeah. My
list had problems scoring points. I was killing just massive groups of units. And the first two games I lost because I couldn't outscore anybody.
Right.
And that's part of the lesson you learn. It's not about killing. Yeah. It's about getting points. And who finished second in the tournament?
Oh, that would be a flesh eater, of course.
And she only lost to a guy who's a really good player with a real cutthroat Zinch list that he could seriously compete if he went to the LVO or Adepticon with. Yeah. So on the way home, I was like, oh, looks like you had a good day. But the last game I played was against a Troggoth, and there were only 2 objectives. I could narrow and focus, and I just wiped them right off the table.
Yeah.
The first 2 games had 6 objectives, and my army could not cover that much territory.
Just couldn't hold enough of them. So he's made some adjustments and some adaptations to see if maybe this list will do a little bit better.
That's kind of what you do. You get a build, you go try it out, and then if it's not working, you find out what did work, what didn't work, and you make some tweaks. So I've cut some things out to get some more small units and numbers in there to try to get some objectives. And who knows? I don't know if it's going to make any difference tomorrow or not.
And I am really going to try not to get wiped off the table today.
But this is just a game for us to get ready for tomorrow. We were going to play it anyway. We thought we would film it. And I don't know if it's going to have all the detail we do in our other battle reports.
We're going to try.
But we think that because we know these armies a little better, you know yours very well. I've still only played about 5 or 6 games with Seraphon, so I'm still learning, and there's a lot there. But with that, we do hope to get some more out. I think that our battle reports in the future, once again, are going to be with armies we know, so I could see me trying some different Sylvaneth builds.
Yes, and which is one thing that you really wanted to try, the different glades and things, too.
I want to try the different glades, and with Seraphon, there are so many different options with this army. We'll talk about my thoughts on Seraphon a little bit more in the end report, as we talk about it at the end. But other than that, let's just get to the armies and get to the game. Thank you very much for bearing with us during this slow time. We hope you did enjoy our 4-part series on which army to pick for a new player for
That was fun
the
to
different
do.
factions.
Very fun to do.
It was a blast. But once again, thank you. We do appreciate, of course, subscribing, and commenting. We are not monetizing. It just tells us people are watching and keeps us motivated to put out more.
And that they like what we're doing.
That's it. So with that, we will go with Seraphon
Versus Flesh Eater Court.
Fight! Today we are going to play Battle for the Pass, the 2020 version. You'll see the table set up with the deployment zones on either of the long ends. So, we have 4 objectives, 2, 3, and 4. The objective in your territory is worth 1 point. The objectives in the neutral territories are worth 2 points apiece, and the objective in the opponent's territory is worth 4 points. That's it. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I want to highlight the mat we're playing on is a mat that was loaned to us by a company out of St. Louis that we really like, Mats by Mars. This is not an advertisement. Mats by Mars is a company I've used for a lot of games, Malifaux, Guild Ball. They make custom mats. We originally got this for when we wanted to play Idnith Deepkin, and we just haven't had the time to get that ready to play, so we thought we would use the mat. Thank you very much for Mats by Mars for sending that to us, and I will put a link to their company in the description of the video. Thank you. Here's 2,000 points of Seraphon, Starborne, Darcothian's Tale. They are led by, and I call this army Statler and Waldorf. Those of you who are Muppet fans will get that. With a Slan Starmaster. He is my general. He has the command trait Ancient Knowledge. He has the artifact Godbeast Pendant. I've picked the spell for him, Celestial Equilibrium. And he gets an extra Ancient Knowledge spell. I've picked Drain Magic. And next to him is Lord Croak, or I lovingly called Croak, with his spell Stellar Tempest, which will be really good against a horde of ghouls. Trace, that's really going to be nice.
Scary.
Scary. I've got a Skink Star Priest. He has the spell Hand of Glory, a Skink Priest, and a Saurus Astrolith Bearer as my leaders. I have a unit of 5 Guard, and 3 units of 10 Skinks as my battle line. 2 of those have the Spitters and the Clubs, and 1 has the Clubs and the Shields. Then over here to some muscle, 2 Bastillodons with the solar engines, and I am proxying for the Salamanders, those Corn Hounds. They're the same size bases and they look right, for 3 Salamanders. It's actually a 12-man unit. Sometimes that gets a little confusing. There are 3 Salamanders and 9 Skink Handlers, which gives them 9 free extra wounds, basically. But that's it, 2,000 points of Seraphon. This does have a potential summoning ability. One last thing, I have the endless spell, the Bound Burning Head. I really love that bound version of the spell for this army. And that's 2,000 points of Seraphon with the potential to summon in quite a bit more.
All right, Flesh Eater Court, 2,000 points exactly. First of all, I am playing Feast Day with no court. So no Gristlegore or any of those courts. I'm going to just play the regular Delusion with Feast Day. I have a general who is my Aberrant Archregent. He has the command trait Dark Wizardry, and he took the spell Blood Feast. Then I have my Royal Terrorgeist. I have an artifact on him, the Grim Garland, and then Monstrous Vigor as my spell, and Gruesome Bite as my mount trait. My Royal Zombie Dragon with my Aberrant Ghoul King on top of him has an artifact Dermal Robe, and the spell is Spectral Host, mount trait Razor Clawed. For my battle line, I have a unit of 40 Crypt Ghouls, a unit of 10, and another unit of 10. I also have a battalion, which is Ghoul Patrol, an endless spell, the Chalice of Usurin. I paid for an extra command point, and I did forget about this guy right here, who is also in the leadership. He is a Crypt Ghast Courtier.
And he gets lost in there quite a bit.
He does.
He gets lost all the time.
And that is it. That is my whole 2,000 point army.
But that's not it, because you bring a whole lot of people on in turn 1.
I do.
Yes, she
yes,
does.
I will be bringing in extra models.
With the new General's Handbook and match play, and officially in this scenario, the secondary objectives will only determine the winner if there's a tie.
True.
But in many tournaments that you'll see, they actually are giving points for achieving your secondary objectives. We made these cheat sheets to bring to our tournaments that are basically a summary of all the secondary objectives, and then you can just circle the ones you pick. You don't keep these secret anymore.
You have to tell them right
You
at the
both
beginning.
secretly pick, but then you reveal to each other what they are. Tracy, I am picking aggressor, which is I will complete this auxiliary objective. Sorry, it's not a secondary objective, it's
Yes,
an auxiliary
auxiliary.
objective. If you control all of the objectives wholly within your opponent's territory at any time.
Which there's only one.
There's only
so-
one, so that's a good one to pick for this. You don't want to pick that in a game when there's 3 of them in your
Right.
opponent's territory. And seize ground. When you reveal this auxiliary objective, you must pick one terrain feature that is not within your territory. You complete this auxiliary objective if you have 1 or more friendly units within 3 inches of the terrain feature at the end of the 4th battle round. Well, I will say that this rock here is not within my terrain feature, and I will pick that as the terrain feature I have to hold at the end of the 4th battle round.
All right.
What have you picked?
I went with the bait, which is when you reveal this auxiliary objective, you must pick one friendly unit in your starting army, and you complete the auxiliary objective if the unit is destroyed by an enemy by the end of the game.
3rd battle round.
3rd battle round.
3rd battle round. So you're going to pick one of those units of 10 ghouls?
No, I am
You're
gonna
not?
pick. I'm gonna pick my Terrorgeist because I'm pretty sure she's just gonna be out there in the melee.
You sure? You don't want to pick a unit of 10 ghouls on that?
No.
Okay, all right.
The second one I picked is right here, Vengeful Counter. You complete this auxiliary objective if any enemy unit are destroyed in the same turn that any friendly units are destroyed.
And we do all plan on killing each other quite a bit.
We
in
had
this.
so much death last time we played this, I thought it was
Not
a
bad
good choice.
picks. Well, we will roll off to see who picks a side and who starts deploying their units. We'll deploy and then we'll be back.
Come back.
Interesting. Well, I used Darcothian's tail to put both Bastillodons up in the sky in orbit, or they're off the table, and I can bring them on at the end of the movement phase. Got 10 skinks on this side to go towards this objective, 10 skinks on that side to go towards that objective. Both the frogs in the middle, everybody else kind of in that middle right there. Tracy has bubbled around with her 40 ghouls. I think she's a little worried about my Lord of Space and Time being able to teleport a unit, trying to create a bubble there. 10 ghouls to run for that objective with some muscle over there on that side. And 10 ghouls to run for this objective. Now, Tracy had much less drops than I did, so four. I had a lot of drops. So she got to choose to go, and are you going first?
I am going first.
For those of you who've not played this scenario, one of the great things about going first is if she can run up and get 2 points there, 2 points there, and 1 point there, she gets 5.
Right.
Okay? She's going to defend those then. If I even run up and get 1 of them, I only get 3. Therefore, I'm already in the hole. She can then just hold back and defend one of those points in her main. And if I can never take him, she won the game by default. It's one thing about this scenario that going first is so excellent about. Now, she's got a lot of models off the board, and you've been contemplating multiple different strategies, haven't you?
Yes, ways to bring them in and try to not die.
And with that, you will go first. Beginning of Fleshier Court. Round 1. Okay, what do you have?
Okay, so start of the turn, I get a command point. I have a battalion, so I get a command point. And I also bought a command point. So I start the turn with 3 command points.
It's ridiculous that you would start with 3 command points.
Stop it, mister. I just eat it
For
like
those
candy.
who don't know about this build, wait till you see the command points that I'm going to generate. That was sarcasm. Okay.
Yes, all right. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to try to do is cast, and I'm going to do Spectral Host. That is a spell that my zombie dragon has, and it is a 6 to cast. 4. He has a +1, but it does not go off.
Wow.
Right. So then I am going to use the Terrorgeist's Unholy Vitality, which would give her a 5/6 shrug instead of just a 6, and it's a 6 to go off. Wow.
There's a 3.
And over here, my Archregent, I am going to use his Ferocious Hunger, which will give D3 extra attacks to a model. So I am going to try to give that here to the zombie.
What's the range
dragon.
on the Ferocious Hunger?
24 inches.
Okay, so you can easily do that.
And he also has +1.
All right, there is a 10. +1's an 11.
+1 is 11.
Now, if you do not know, the Slans can attempt to unbind anywhere across the tabletop.
Right.
He has 3 unbinds and he has 4. It is something that's very frustrating playing against them, that 7 unbinds. What's worse is that they both have +1 to casting and unbinding. Right now, they're going to get much higher on that. But since you went first, I haven't had the opportunity for my hero phase. Also, with Darcothian's Tale, the command trait that my Slan Starmaster has, Ancient Knowledge, allows him to re-roll when casting, unbinding, or dispelling roll a phase. So I have 2 chances to roll an 11 or 12. No. And
I'm holding my breath.
no, so it goes off.
Okay, so that is, I get D3 extra attacks for each of my melee attacks. So let me roll to see what I get there. 2.
2.
So my zombie dragon will get 2 extra attacks for each of his melee attacks.
Until your next hero phase, correct?
Yes.
That is scary.
So my final spell for my Archregent, I am going to try to cast my Endless Spell, and it takes a 6, and he does have a +1.
And I definitely don't want this one.
8, so it's a 9.
It's a 9. I cannot re-roll this, but I do get +1.
Oh,
I could have used that on the other
it.
one. There you go. So the sippy cup is not on the tabletop. End of the hero phase, start of the movement phase. What we do to make this easy is we roll for runs to begin with. Technically, by the rules, once again, you're supposed to roll for the run and move them. But in this situation, it would make no bearing whatsoever. So
Right.
who are you going to run with?
These ghouls here
They're going
are
to
getting
run
an
plus
additional
5.
5, and these ghouls here. And they will get a 2.
+2. All right. We will move all the models and be back. Tracy moved this group of ghouls up. We checked. They are all within 6 inches of that objective. So she got that objective. Ran those up. Moved up the 2 big guys here. And then brought in off the board. How'd you get all that extra ammunition for the game?
Okay, well, 20 ghouls came from my Aberrant Archregent because he's 1 inch from the throne. It does not cost him a command point.
Did not cost him the command point.
However, to bring in the 3 crypt players and the Vargulf, I had to spend 2 of my 3 command points to do that, 1 from each of those.
It's a nice ability all those aberrants have at the beginning of the game. So that's the setup. Do you have any shots?
I am going to use the Crypt Player's Scream to scream here. It is a 10-inch shot, and it is based on bravery. So what are your skinks' bravery?
Starborne all have a 10 bravery characteristic. Okay. They don't look at the characteristic on the war scroll. All Starborne have a 10 bravery versus being coalesced.
Okay, so I roll 2 dice, and for every number over your bravery, you take a mortal wound.
Oh.
So on an 11, you would take 1 mortal wound. On a 12, you would take 2. And I get to roll for each of my 3 crypt players. So we'll roll for this guy right here.
Nope.
No.
That was not a loud scream at all.
He just coughed. Ooh, bad
You're
roll.
all over the place. There's a 9.
Yes, that was
6 and a
all
3
over.
is a 9. So
I was
nothing.
looking to shake up the ones. Oh, and
Right. No, would have done some damage against a lot of other units, but not against Starborne Seraphon. That is it for the shooting phase also, correct?
Right. So I
Because
think
these guys are, the Terrorgeist and the Zombie Dragon
just
out of range.
Yeah.
And so that's it. Are you charging?
I am. I'm going to take my crypt players and try to make the 9-inch charge to your skinks.
All right. Oh, you got a 9. That is not good for me.
All right, I'll move them in.
All right. We have 1 combat. They have charged and then done their 3-inch pile-in move, and now they get to attack.
All right, so they each get 4. The leader gets 5, and they hit on 4s. A 6 is an additional mortal wound on a hit roll. Okay.
2 mortals.
And then 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4. Oh, nice.
Oh, real nice.
Yeah, so
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 skinks are already dead, and these wound on a 3?
3s. All but 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Any rend?
Yes, -1 rend.
They have star bucklers, so that gives them a +1 save, so that means they're back to their basic save. Their t-shirt save of a 6. They save on a 6. None of them save. That's 7 plus the 2 mortal wounds. I have 1 guy left.
One little dude.
1 little skink left. Now he's going to hit back with his Moonstone Club. 1 attack at a 4. He misses. So that is it, the end of the combat phase. And now we come to the battle shock. One reason if you're playing Seraphon like this, you want to attack them first turn. I have 0 command points. I did not have a War Scroll Battalion. It's not been my hero phase. I cannot save the unit. 9 died. They have a 10 bravery. If I roll a 1, he sticks around. He does not. So he is gone. You killed that unit. That was huge in your game plan.
For me.
That was huge. All right. That is the end of turn 1. Let's talk about your points. As we stated earlier, you get 1, 2 here, 1, 2 there, and 1 there. So that is 5-0. On to Seraphon, turn 1. Want to highlight that I only could have used a command point to try to save him because I have my general within 12 inches. It's a hero within 6 inches or a general within 12 inches. Start of the Seraphon hero phase. One thing did want to highlight off camera. I thought this was going to be within my deployment zone, but it isn't. So that territory piece I told Tracy when we realized it was not my deployment zone for my auxiliary has been moved to this territory terrain piece versus that. I said that early on, and I thought that was going to be within my territory, so that's why I didn't pick it. But I get 1 command point because you do every hero phase. Right. Now, I'm going to roll these dice. I get 3 of them for Lord Croak and 2 of them for the Slan. Those, I will get an extra command point on a 4, and the Skink Star Priest, I get an extra command point on a 5.
Yes, it's like candy.
Yes, so I roll that, and there is only 2 extra command points. Oh, so I'm up to 3 command points. I know. That's such a pity right there. Celestial Conjuration points. Okay. I have D3 because my general is a Star Master.
Okay.
D3 because I have an Astrolith Bearer on the tabletop.
All right.
And then we could do this later, but I'm going to forego the first spell by each of my Slans. So he has 3 and 4 normally. It will go to 2 spells and 3 spells, and I get a D3 extra for each of those.
All right.
So you roll those. That's nice. That's 3. That's 6, 7, 8, 9 conjuration points to start out the game. So that is 9 conjuration points and 3 command points. Then I have to pick my Sacred Asterism.
Oh.
That's what it is.
You do that now.
I do that now at the beginning of the hero phase. And I'm going to pick the Sage's Staff on my general. Those markers there are, both of those naturally on their War Scroll get +1 to casting, unbinding, and dispelling. The Sacred Asterism gives him another +1, so he is now at +2 to casting and unbinding. The dispelling, I have to look that up. One of them does not count for the dispelling. And then every wizard within range, I think it's 12 inches, I will look that up, of the Astrolith Bearer gets another +1. He starts out the game at +3 to casting and unbinding. He goes to +2, and my Star Priest goes to +1. Then my first spell by my Slan Star Master is going to be Celestial Equilibrium, which goes off on a 7.
Okay.
Boy, you can edit that spin. There. I rolled a 7, plus the 3 is a 10.
Okay, and what does it do?
That will give +1 to casting and unbinding for all other Seraphon wizards, which will turn him to a 3 and him to a 2. So are you going to unbind that?
No.
Not that you would have to roll an 11 or 12.
Because you're already getting so many pluses. What does one more matter at this point?
So that is where +3 to casting on unbinding, +3 to casting on binding, and the Star Priest is at +2. Then the Slann, Star Master, is going to cast the Bound Burning Head, which is on a 7, and he has +3, and he can re-roll one spell, cast, unbind, or dispel each phase.
Okay.
Oh, and that is a 3, so I will use my unbind, my command trait, to re-roll that. And oh,
wow.
No.
That's awesome because I hate that burning
That
head.
burning head is an amazing spell to put out right now. That is not good. So that went very well for you.
Yes, it did.
Croak. Lord Croak will do Comet's Call, which is a casting value of a 7. And he is at +3. So that is an 8.
And
I pick D3 units anywhere on the battlefield. If I had rolled a 10 plus, I could pick D6 units. And each of those units take D3 mortal wounds.
okay, I think I am going to try to unbind that, and I will use my Terrorgeist so she does not get the +1.
And you're within 30 inches, so that's no problem. And you are not successful because it's an 8, so you just matched
used
it.
him.
Yeah, so that is 1 unit anywhere on the battlefield. I will take that Terrorgeist.
The Terrorgeist?
Yes,
Okay.
and the Terrorgeist is going to take 1 mortal wound.
All right.
That was not that scary. He's now going to do Stellar Tempest. Stellar Tempest has a casting value of 8, and he's at +3. That is a 9 +3 is a 12. You cannot, well, if you have a +1 to your unbind, you could.
What is the
All I have
consequence?
left, the consequence of that is I will pick an enemy unit, which normally is within 24 inches of him, but he's within range of this Astrolith Bearer that gives him +6 inch more. So it's 30 inches. I roll a d6 for every model in the unit, and it's a mortal wound on a 5+. Do you want to measure to see if your unit of 40 is within 30 inches of him or not before you make that call?
I better.
We'd better. Oh, she says, hold on. Tough call. Knowing that, yes, I am within 30 and I can really hurt that unit, and you don't have the sippy cup out to bring him back, all I have really left is Arcane Bolt within my range, and he has Hand of Glory that he can put on the salamanders, allowing them to re-roll 1s, but you'd have to roll a 12.
Wow. In the words of Vince.
In the words of Vince, what are the words of Vince?
YOLO.
YOLO, let's go. Well, no, that was a whole lot of time for nothing. So now I'm going to roll 40 dice, and every 5 or 6 is a mortal wound. Here we go with 20 dice twice. 5 and 6 are a mortal wound.
Ah!
Oh.
There's a lot of 5s and 6s.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mortal wounds on the first roll. That was a really good dice for me. 11 out of 20.
So do you want me to roll dice 6s now?
You have a 6 shrug off?
I
Might
do.
as well just do it now to match that up to it.
Oh yeah, at least
And you got 2, so that's
So
9. Do this again.
Would you like some help?
Yes. Can you help me, please? Can you help me kill your ghouls? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was much
that's
better. None.
but
So
I think
14 ghouls are dead.
Oops. All right.
Arcane Bolt goes off on a 5. If it's a 10, it's D3 mortal wounds.
And you get plus how many?
And I get plus
A
3.
million?
It is not. It's only 1 mortal wound.
Shoo!
Yep. So I will do 1 mortal wound, and at 18 inches we measured, that will go on your zombie dragon.
Okay.
And the last one is the Skink Star Priest is going to cast with a casting value of 6, but he's +2 on the Salamander's Hand of Glory. And he got it. That's a 6 + 2 is an 8.
I don't have any more unbinds
Yeah,
within range.
Within range. So they have Hand of Glory on them. I lost my marker that said Hand of Glory, so I put this little generic marker on them. They will re-roll 1s until on all attacks until the next fight phase. Or
Okay.
until the next hero phase.
Hero face.
Yep, until the next hero phase.
Gotcha.
Now that I'm done with spells, now I go through all my command abilities.
Oh my
and
gosh.
they're quite lengthy also. The Skink Priest is going to use his command ability, which will drop me to 2 command points, to put Herald of the Old Ones on the Salamanders. Herald of the Old Ones is going to give them +1 to hit.
Yay!
Yay! Then he's going to use his Starstone Staff, which will allow them to run and charge and shoot, but it also gives them +1 to save.
Okay.
And that's not a command ability, that's an ability off the War Scroll card.
And that's the Salamanders?
That's the Salamanders also. And the Skink Star Priest, that one has to be done on a Skink unit. The Star Priest one can be done on any Seraphon unit.
I'm confused. The first one you did, was it on the Skinks or the Salamanders?
They're the same unit. All right, one thing we want to clear up with a new book is that in the old book, your Salamanders and Handlers or your Razordons and Handlers were separate units.
Right.
Now they are one unit and they have the Skink keyword. So anytime you do something you can put to Skinks, you can put to your Salamanders. That's another benefit of them being in the same unit. When he used his command ability to put Herald of the Old Ones on them, they are all +1 to hit. Now he's going to use his Starstone Staff, and when he does that, I roll a die, and on a 3+, a 6, that goes on them, the Starstone Staff. They can run, shoot, and charge, but they also get +1 to save. Since I'm going to use Lord in Space and Time, they're not going to run, so that's not the advantage, but they are going to get +1 to save, which is nice. Then the Skink Star Priest is going to use his Serpent Staff on them, so they will have all those buffs, and the Serpent Staff is when an unmodified wound roll made by that unit is 6, it does 1 mortal wound on top of it.
Okay.
So that is a way to really buff up this unit. Now, he could do that to any Seraphon unit, so I really have thought about putting it over here, because I'm going to get in combat over here, but I'm still going to try to make a mighty unit of Salamanders.
All right.
And that is the end of the lengthy Seraphon first turn hero
Oh,
phase.
I'm sorry. Are you done?
Yes. And now we will go on to the movement phase. Lord Croak and the Guard and the Astrolith Bearer have all come over this way to try to take out those crypt flares.
Yep.
Flares. Boom! Boom! Right there. Booyah. 2 Bastillodons right down here in the middle. They have to be dropped at the end of the movement phase within 18 inches of Lord Croak, and we measured they are 9 inches away from all your models. That's the 9-inch bubble right there. And then, oh no, Lord of Space and Time. There's the Salamanders 9 inches away from your ghouls out here in the back.
Scary!
If I can make that charge, ooh, that's going to be very nice for them to shoot and then make that charge and attack. Other than that, Star Priest moved up a little bit. These guys moved up. They did not run up, so they can shoot. Nobody ran. And that's it for the movement phase. For players that are kind of looking at this new to Seraphon, also remember there is a contemplation of the Ancient Ones. That at the end of your hero phase, you can actually change the spell you have to another one from the table.
For the next turn.
For the next turn. So it's at the end of the hero phase. I did not do that. I'm fine with the spells that I've got right now. But that's a neat thing that I don't know any other army that's able to do that.
Change spells, yeah.
Yep. Shooting. I am going to first go with these skinks with their spitters spitting over at your ghouls. I got to kill at least one of those ghouls so I can get the 2 points. Each of them has 1 attack, hitting on 5. I hit with 2. And they wound on 5. No. Next, I'm going to go with a Star Priest who's going to use his Venom Bolt.
Venom Bolt.
Venom Bolt, 2 attacks, hitting on a 3. Ooh, those both hit. Wounding on a 3. 1 wound, and that is at a -1 rend.
So they can't save.
They can't save.
And I don't have a hero near there to get the shrug, so what is the wound?
1.
All right.
But that did it. That was huge, because I have all mine within 6 inches. If I wouldn't have killed 1 and it was tied, you would have kept the point. I would have had to have wasted Bastillodon shots on ghouls. And that's not really what I want to shoot with them
Which
right
I would have
now.
loved.
But I'm good right now over here. The Skink Priest is going to shoot into the crypt flares with his Starbolt. 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. Missed. Bastillodon, 9 attacks right now. I want to take that Terrorgeist out. So this first Bastillodon is going to attack him with all 9 dice. And he is hitting on 4s. This is where the Burning Head was great, because the Burning Head would allow me to reroll 1s to hit. And that is huge. So that not getting out there was a big loss. Hitting on 4s, and that means I only got 2 hits. And I didn't roll any 1s anyway, so the Burning Head wouldn't have made a difference. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound at -1 rend.
On my Terrorgeist, so that's a 5. Here, I'll come over here.
Oh my goodness. That is not good for me. And here's the other Bastiladon shooting at him, hitting on 4s. A lot of 1s. That burning head would have been nice there. There's 4 of them. Wounding on 3s. 3 of them go through, -1 rend.
Okay, 5s. None.
And that is 2 damage each. So he takes 6 wounds.
Well, I get my shrug.
You get your shrug.
Nothing.
6 wounds.
6 wounds.
I like that. Here's a reason why the Salamanders went up in points, and I still think they're worth it. Seraphon players predict them to go up in points potentially again. They are going to get 4 attacks apiece. So I'm going to have 12 dice.
Okay.
They normally hit on 3s. But because I have Hand of Glory, they get to reroll 1s. Because I have Herald of the Old Ones, they get +1 to hit.
So they hit on 2s.
So they hit on 2s. Also, their ability on their War Scroll is if I hit with a 6, it does D3 mortal wounds, and the sequence is over. And getting the Serpent Staff from the Skink Star Priest is if the wound roll is a 6, they do +1 mortal wound.
Okay. That's a lot to
That
keep
is a
track
lot.
of.
So it is 12 attacks, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s.
Okay.
With, I have 3 hits of 6. So right away I'm doing D3 mortal wounds for each of these, and it's over.
And those are done.
And it's
Okay.
over. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mortal wounds.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do my
Okay.
6
I
plus
think that's
shrug
the
on
easiest way to
those.
do it right now.
So I shrugged 2,
So there's 3 are dead.
died.
Don't remove models, of course, in
Right.
case until it's all done. The rest of them now are going to wound on a 3, and if I roll a 6 on the wound, it's +1 mortal wound.
Okay.
And they do -2 rend D3 damage.
Okay.
Oh, there's +1 mortal wound. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So with a -2 rend, you cannot save.
No.
This is D3 wounds apiece, plus the 1 mortal wound for the 6 that I wounded
Okay.
with. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more.
So I can only do my shrug.
You can only do your shrug. Which you got 1.
So 12 more die.
Plus the 3 from the last time.
Right.
So 15 more die. Tracy chose to take the 15 away from this side, therefore increasing the distance of the charge. She's a little worried you left her hero out there naked, but that's an 11-inch charge, and I don't have any positives to the charge.
Okay.
So that's that. That is the end of the shooting phase.
All right, let's see. Are we going to
We go to the charge phase. Do we want to just do this one right away? Over here?
Yeah, let's get it over with because I'm going to have a heart attack.
If I roll an 11, it's going to be rough.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
All right, there you go.
Okay, that just happened. And all right, so there's a 12 right there. And then I will go over here. I will roll for this Bastiladon. I'll measure afterwards to see if it's anywhere near close. There's a 12.
Holy cow!
That was a 12 charge for that Bastiladon.
Wow. You better be using up all your 6s.
Oh my gosh. Let's go with the guard over here. There's a 9. They will definitely be in there. And I'm going to go with Lord Croak. People realize Lord Croak is an absolute beast in combat. More against hordes than he is against others, but he rolled a 10. And I will roll with how I'm rolling for this other Bastiladon also, just in case. And an 8. Okay, we'll measure for him and measure for some of those and come back with the charge results. You're actually supposed to charge and then move them.
But
That
we
is
don't have
absolutely-
anybody who's overlapping.
Actually, the 8, I don't. He's 9 inches anyway. He had to be 9 inches away from anybody, so
True.
I know that
True.
is. But yes, you have to charge and then move. So we did that out of sequence, but with the high numbers, I definitely wasn't going to be blocking anybody. I've piled my salamanders around. These 2 are first going to attack onto your general.
Yep.
And that is going to be 3 attacks apiece. I was thinking it was 4 attacks apiece, but that's when you play Coalesced and you get +1 to the jaw attack. You don't get that with Starbound, so it's 3 attacks apiece. Hitting on 3s, still +1 to hit though, and re-rolling 1s. So they are hitting on 2s because I'm +1 to hit.
Right.
It's 3s, so
right.
those all hit. No 6s though, so I don't get the immediate mortal wound.
Okay.
These are wounding on 3s, and a 6 is an extra mortal wound. So he gets 2 mortal wounds and total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at -2 rend.
Okay, so he has a 6 to save on the 5.
Okay. None. D3 wounds apiece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And the 2 mortals,
6.
so 11.
7, 8, 9, and then these are the 2 mortals.
Well, I forgot to hit record on this, so we're going to go through that. These 2 attacked her aberrant archregent. They had 3 attacks apiece. They hit on 3s, +1 to hit, so they're hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s. All in all, I did 11 wounds, and she did not save, so her aberrant archregent was gone. This last one, exact same, hitting on 3s, +1 to hit, re-rolling 1s, and these 2 guys with their little goads did 1 wound to her, what is that guy? Crypt Ghoul?
Crypt Gas Courtier.
Crypt Gas Courtier. He took 1 wound. And now I assume you're coming over here to the Crypt Flares.
I am. My Crypt Flares against your guard.
Against the guard, all right.
Because you would just push any wounds off to them.
I would just push wounds from him onto the guard anyway,
Right,
so.
so-
Okay. And let's clarify, the guard, he would only push wounds off onto the guard on a 2+, but he has a 4+ shrug off. So there's a 50% chance any wounds that do end up going to him, he shrugs off anyway. So you just want to kill the guard first.
Right.
That's what you're going to do. Okay?
Okay.
What do you hit on 4s?
Hit on 4s, 6s are an additional mortal.
All right. There are 2 mortals in there.
Okay. And then, not very many hits though. And then wounding on a 3. But that's nice. 2, 4, 5 wounds at -1 rend.
5 wounds at -1 rend. Guards have a 4+ save, so these saves on 5. I saved 1, so 4 go through.
And then you have the 2 mortals.
And then I have the 2 mortals. So you did 6 total?
Yep.
Oh, that's 3 guard that are dead. That's pretty big.
And that's it for me.
That's it for you. Well, I will go with the 2 guard that are remaining. And that is I'm going to keep I'm going to take the banner out instead. We'll do
Okay.
that. The guard is attacking with a Celestite polearm. 2 attacks each. The alpha gets 1 more, so there's 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s. 3 wounds at -1 rend.
All right. So they have a 6 save. And I saved 1. They're out of range. I don't get the 6+ shrug.
Okay, so that's 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
Oh, this guy's gonna...
He's usually not a fighter, so we're going to see what he can do. All right, so he gets 2 different attacks. The first one is his Bone Club. 3 attacks, 3/3, no rend. 1.
1. Salamanders normally have a 4+ save. I have a +1 to the save because of the staff. So 4 shrugged off.
All right, and then the Filthy Claws, 2 attacks, 4/3. Oh, and that does do 1.
And that goes through. Kills 1. Oh, one of my little salamanders or skinks is dead. I forgot the Astrolith Bearer has a 12-inch bubble buff of a 6+ shrug to those 6 wounds that you took to the guard. And one of them went through, so actually 1 guard is back with 1 wound on him. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right, now Lord Croak. Lord Croak gets a 3-inch attack range, and he gets 1 attack for every model within 3 inches. Now, we measured there's only 2 of them, so right now he only gets 2 attacks. But you throw him in the middle of Daughters of Cain, or your ghouls, or those witches or skeletons, he can end up with the 3-inch bubble, he can end up with 20 attacks.
Sure.
And that's where you put him with guard, who can absorb his wounds, and he has a 4+ shrug off. Croak can be a frontline combat fighter.
The problem is that if you surround him with guard, they're taking up part of your 3
They're probably going to have to be
too.
behind him in that, instead of being up front.
Yeah.
Correct, because they're going to take up part of that 3 inches. But he has 2 attacks that he hits on a 3. He hits. He wounds on a 3. He wounds 1, -1 rend.
All right, 6s. And no shrug.
1 damage.
1 damage.
So didn't even kill one of those guys.
All right.
That was a little shocking. Is that it for combat?
I think so.
Oh, no, we've got over here.
What was I
about
thinking?
that? What is that? As a matter of fact, I should have gone. We went out of order. You know, I should have gone over here first anyway.
Right.
But I didn't. So
All
you
right,
actually
so
get to go first. Now, here's something when you're watching the game. I messed up and went out of order, and I attacked Croak against a unit who'd already attacked, and this is giving you the opportunity to attack when I could have done more damage and killed.
Right, but I don't do rend and you save on a 1.
But she doesn't do Ren, and I save on a 1. Correct. So, let's go.
All right, 4 4s.
And that wasn't a good roll. 2 hit.
1
goes through, and I save on a 1. I fail on a 1.
Oh!
That did not. That almost made it worth it. Bastillodons have a +1 save. You can look this up into it. It basically ends up the way you do apply dice in the game. Ren doesn't impact them whatsoever. They will only fail on a 1. If you cast Mystic Shield on them and now they're able to actually reroll ones, it makes them amazing tanks that you gotta hit him with mortal wounds. But they do bracket at 3 wounds, so he's still not bracketed yet.
Right.
But he did do a wound to him. That little ghoul did a wound to him. That was pretty awesome. There he is with 9 wounds. He will use his bludgeoning tail 3 attacks, hitting on a 3, wounding on a 3, 1, -1 rend.
Okay, can't save.
D3, 2.
2 just die.
So 2 die. So 3 of those have died.
Yep.
What's their bravery?
10.
Yeah, so they're not going to fail.
So they're
they
not
won't
going to
run.
run.
So they won't
but
run.
these guys, I will have to
Those-
spend my command
You will
point.
have to spend a command point, and you do have a hero close
Right,
by
within
within 6 inches. If I could have
yeah.
killed the hero, they would have probably ran.
Right.
They would have ran.
Right.
All right. On to that battle shock phase. You're going to spend a command point here.
Yep, so that
So
leaves
they
me
will
no
not
command
run.
points.
They cannot run. Okay.
Right.
Because they did not lose enough models
I lost
to
3.
fail. You got a 10 bravery. Over here, my Source Guard lost 2. They have a 10 bravery, so they can't run. And that's it. So Battle Shock, there's nothing that's going on. That is the end of turn 1. Now, points-wise, I only got 3 points. I got 2 points for this one and 1 point for my own. So, let us count over here. It's 9 models to 9 models. She keeps that point. Should have piled in. I took a model away from here that died. I could have taken one back from here, and I would have gotten the 4
Well,
points.
and if I had it to do over again too,
You
I
would've-
took all the
right,
way over to
right.
here. I could have taken these
Right.
guys because these didn't affect the
These
charge
didn't affect
anyway.
it, so you could have kept some over here.
Yeah.
Correct. So Tracy keeps that point. And in friendly games, of course, we're going to do that. You go to tournament, I took that guy away. That could have cost the difference between 4 points and not right there, because I should have measured the 6 inches and taken one that was outside of 6 inches, because I really thought I had no chance. It wasn't until afterwards I went, oh my gosh. So always have that in the back of your mind. 2 mistakes I made, taking that guy away and not going with him first. And that is it.
I doubt that's going to cost you the game.
Hey, it's not. You've got these 2 guys. If you win the priority, you can come over here and try to kill Croak, and you can come and try to take my 4. There's no doubt over here I'm going to dominate with those guys over there on that side.
I don't have enough left.
But it's no way near over. Especially if you go first, because then I won't be summoning. If I go first one priority, it doesn't look good. So now's the big roll. Let's see. Oh, when I roll a 5. Oh no, look at that. What an epic Partners at War moment right there.
Nice.
Oh, the JC gets a reprieve with that.
I'll be going first, just so you know. This was the only shot I had, was winning that priority roll.
If I'd have rolled that, we would have had a quick night tonight. It would have been done. We could have watched some TV.
Yeah, go walk the dog.
We could have walked the dog. So who are you doing with these guys? They
I
casting
took
some
my
spells?
command point, yep.
Okay.
So, my zombie dragon, I'm going to do Malefic Hunger. It's a 6 to cast, and he does have a +1.
All right.
5, 6.
And that does what for you? Oh,
That's a 16-inch bubble.
doesn't really
Reroll
matter.
wounds.
I have 7 unbinds at +3.
Yeah.
It's unbound.
Okay. So then she is going to do her Unholy Vitality. It's a 6. Oh, she has a 10.
That is a 9 plus 3 is a 12.
12, okay. Yeah, that's the only thing about playing against you is I can't get any spells off because of all of those pluses.
You
So,
take
like,
away
my
that
sippy
cup, you take away the
is-
sippy cup, you take away all those spells for extra
completely,
attacks.
Really does
It's
hurt my
really-
army.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is not a good matchup for your build with that army. Not at all.
Right. Okay, so I do get to do some healing.
These guys are
They get to heal. They have Royal Blood, so they each get to heal D3. So we'll do the Zombie Dragon first. Heals 1, so it goes 14. That was how much he started with. And then for my Terrorgeist, 1. So she'll go to 8.
What else do you do in your hero phase?
I get to bring back models.
Yes.
So I get
From this guy right here.
Right, who you failed to kill.
I know.
So I get to roll 6 dice, and on a 2+, I get to bring back one of my ghouls.
Okay. So 4.
4 ghouls get to come back.
Into hero phase, movement phase, are you going to run anyone?
I do believe I'm going to run these 10 ghouls right here.
All right, so roll for them.
5.
So they move 11 inches, correct?
Yep. Yep.
And is that it?
That's all I'm going to run, yes.
And we will move models. Okay, he's ready to pounce right there. Your zombie dragon.
Yeah, you made him upset.
They ran towards the middle. And you got a Terrorgeist. And your Vargolf
Came in.
ready to jump into that fight.
These guys just moved
They
up
just
onto
moved
the
up onto that
objective.
objective. Boy, how that 6 saved you. It does not look good for me right now. This is
Here it comes out.
These are 2 evenly matched armies, and you know when it comes up to just like priority roll and rolls like that makes the
What's
difference.
going to make the difference?
Excellent.
Shoot phase.
Shoot phase. Who are you shooting with?
My zombie dragon has a shot, and the rule is that if I roll a d6, if I roll equal to or less than the number of models in the target unit, it's an auto hit.
Which I have too many, so it
it's
auto
an
hits.
auto hit. So it's a wound on a 2. And I cannot tell you how many times I've rolled a 1 on this. No, this one does.
What's the rend?
The rend is -3.
-3. I have a 3 that I have a +1 save, so it gives me a 3, so this saves on a 6. Nope, goes through.
No, d6 wounds.
Oh.
Come on, this is when I need that big number. 3.
I will take 3 of these little guys away.
All right. And then my Terrorgeist, I have done the numbers, run the numbers, and she cannot do damage.
She's bracketed with her scream, and I have a 10 bravery.
Yes, so
Okay.
I roll a d6 +3 now. It used to be +6.
And you can't eat a 10.
So I can't beat a 10. But my crit players can. And actually I was wrong last turn. They technically couldn't have hit you. We didn't do any wounds anyway, but they technically couldn't because I was outside of 3 inches. I had to -2 from my rolls.
But now you're not, so you don't have to -2, but with a 10 bravery,
Right.
you need an 11 or 12.
11 or 12, so we'll go with this guy. And these are going to go on the guard.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll go here. Because Croak gets a shrug even on mortals, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so then I am going to go on
you are
the
gonna
guard.
go on the guard.
So we'll go with him. 10.
Nope.
So close.
So close.
This guy in the middle. 7. Nope. And this guy. This is really a good attack, unless you have 10s as
Yes.
all your braveries. Oh, 9. Okay.
You don't have anything that's -1 to bravery or anything, do you?
Oh, she does have -2.
I
That's for
thought
Garland.
you did. See, this is what we do when we're playing together. If I remember right, and if I'm wrong, we're not going to go back and look at this. It was a 10, a 9, and a 9.
I did roll well.
And that means that I have now an 8 bravery. That is a -2 bravery
Right, because of her Garland.
of her Garland. So that is an 8 bravery. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds.
4. Yeah.
There's 3 more wounds. There we go.
And then, yeah. All right.
Actually,
well, thanks
no.
for...
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
it.
and then
Correct.
leave your one
Yeah,
there.
you got to remember that.
Yeah.
He helped support them tremendously
I did,
by giving
yeah.
-2 to the bravery.
This is a new thing for me because I always took that ethereal amulet, and now with the new book, I can't do that. So this is a new artifact.
So it's a
for
brand
me.
new artifact.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
and
I
that's
think
it for your
all my
shooting phase.
shooting.
So now we're on to charge phase.
Charges. All right.
All right, rolling for your zombie dragon.
Yes, charging him. And he has a 7.
Here's a 7.
Rolling for my ghouls.
Hand up right there. Rolling for the ghouls. An
Ooh,
11.
11. They're all going to get in
They're
there.
all going to get in pretty much wherever they want to go.
This is for that guy.
That's for the wound for him. Well, forgot the shrug from the astrolith bearer again. That's 4 dice on a 6. None of them were there. So ended up the exact same result. Okay, all those crypt ghouls are into there. Not looking good for the salamanders. This just turned south for me real quick.
All right, so we're going to do the Terrorgeist.
Yeah, double ones. No, 5.
5. I think that's going to do it.
And he'll get to do that attack twice thing. Ah!
And then my Vargolf.
10.
So he'll get around there. Let's see how far he can go.
It's been a lot of nice charges this game. I don't see how such a small cat can snore so loud.
Are we boring her?
You're gonna go with the zombie dragon first.
I am.
Against salamanders.
Yep.
I'm scared.
So the little ghoul king on the top there, he is going to do his talons and fangs. 5 attacks, 3/3.
All hit.
Nice.
Oh, 2 wounds. Rend.
-1.
4s. 1 goes through.
1 damage.
That is 1 little guy. All right.
So then we have the snapping maw.
Yeah, this is.
No, that's not the same
this is
one.
the big
It's
one?
over there. Huh?
All right.
So this is 3 attacks, 4/3.
1.
And it does go through -2.
Not saved.
D6.
That is not good.
3. Okay, and then lastly, he has his sword-like claws. He is not wounded, so he gets 7 attacks, 4/3.
Those are some sword-like claws. 4s.
4s.
3.
1. -1 rend.
No.
2 wounds.
2 wounds. He goes away, and he is going to be left with 2 wounds left. And I am assuming now.
We're gonna do it all again!
Whoa! This is where flesh eater courts are horrible. And that's for 0 command points. He just gets to attack again.
Yes, he does. Feast
Goodbye,
day.
salamanders.
Okay, so here we go. So this is the little guy on top. 3 3s. 4, -1 rend.
Saves on a 4. 2 go through. Oh, the beginning of the end.
Snapping Maw, 4/3. 2, -2 rend.
1 saved.
D6.
That could kill them both.
5.
1 with 1 wound. Wow.
And then lastly is his sword-like claws, 4/3. All 3 -1 rend.
That is right there. They are saved.
All of them?
Yep. 5, 5, 4. Right there.
All right. Well, then he lives to fight again.
Do I even go with him with the 3 attacks that can do any damage? No. I'll go over here. Lord Croak gets 1 attack for every enemy model within 3 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get 4 attacks. I'm attacking the Terrorgeist, and that is hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds, -1 rend. And 1 of these has to go through because it'll bracket him.
So 5s. 1.
1.
And is it 1 wound?
Yes.
Okay, so 6.
Don't you dare.
No.
No, it goes through. At least he's bracketed. That's all I wanted to do, is to make him weaker before he attacks me twice. All right, and he is done. Tracy is going to decide to come over here and kill him before I potentially could just pile around a little bit and kill her hero. And he has 3 wounds left, and this guy can still, because he's still at +1 to hit, hitting on 2s, and D3 wounds apiece. So I'm going to give you the 1 wound, though, and he's gone. So we don't have to roll all those ghouls on there.
Oh,
and
come on.
Yep. So he's gone, but yeah, that saved him from being able to go away. And that saved your 4 point. If I lose this game by 4 points, we'll just know that was a mistake on my part, removing guys. But you did the same thing, that would be a wash. Going over here, I will pile in the Astrolith Bear, and yes, because I would actually want to attract you to want to attack the Astrolith Bear instead of Lord Croak.
Well, it does give 6 inches extra, and it gives all of his extra command points and everything. So he is attractive to kill.
Yes, he is. The Astrolith Bear has a lot of buffs that goes on with him.
Does he have a staff? Is that...
The Sage's staff is on. Actually, that's where he's getting a +1 to the casting. 3 attacks, hitting on a 3. 2 hit. Wounding on a 3. 2 wounds. -1 rend.
Okay, so 5s. Okay, saved 1. Is that 1 damage?
1 damage.
Okay, 6.
Oh, that is just wrong. Then he has his jaw, 1 attack, hitting on a 4. He missed. So done. It's to you.
All right, so I am going to go with... I am actually going to go with my flares. Because
that's the only one that hasn't gone, and if he's gone, he doesn't take the wound from Lord Croak also.
Right. I'm just wondering if I want to split.
Those 2 Crypt Flares are going to attack this lonely guard, and that other Crypt Flare will attack Croak.
I'll roll that one separate. So this is the first one here. 4s. 6s are immortal.
No 6s, so he's not immediately dead, and you did not hit 1.
All right, that was not fun.
You want to spend the last command point and have them attack again?
Well, I'm not done, because he still gets to attack.
Oh, I know that, but I'm just saying that. You sure?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Okay, the other one hitting on 4s?
To Croak.
Yes.
Nothing. I can't believe all those dice and I didn't hit 1 4.
So you spend a command point to make them attack again? Oh, okay. Well, then he is going to attack back himself. So there.
All right.
That one's got 1 wound on him.
He does have 1 wound.
Hits on a 3. Wounds on a 3. 2 wounds. -1 rend.
Okay, 5s. Nope, 6s. Nope. And 6s. Oh, 1 saved, so 1 died.
1 does die. That helps. That helps big time. Even though your courtier is probably just going to bring him back.
Yeah, my Vargolf might be able to bring him back.
Might bring him back. All right, so your turn, and now you got the big guy. And the Vargolf.
Yes, and I still have those ghouls over there.
Oh, that's right.
So they did kick him in the toe last time.
They kicked him in the toe and hurt him.
So everybody over here has
Might as well go over here because they've already gone over there.
3 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left.
They've piled in. 7 of them left.
7 and 1 for the leader.
They are now wholly within 18 inches of an aberrant, so they get to reroll 1s to hit.
Yes.
Okay.
4s.
There's
1 1.
2 1.
2 1s,
There's 1
yeah.
right there.
Oh, nice. Both converted. And 4s. Oops. This
1,
was a
2,
1.
3, 4.
Okay.
So 4.
No rend.
No, Ren wouldn't matter anyway.
Oh, I know. You're in Mr. 1.
Yeah. This Bastiladon doesn't care about no stinking rend.
Oh,
you got 1 more wound, and she still doesn't care about rend. But they did do 2 wounds to her.
kicked her in the toe
Yes, they
again. Your turn.
She will attack because that's all I have left, actually. And this Bastiladon here will attack. I say this Bastiladon because I can't call her Tilly. Because
that's Tilly.
That's Tilly. So what is her name then?
We're going to have to come up with one. I can't call him Bast.
Don't know what it is then. How about Dawn? Tilly and Dawn.
Tilladon.
Because it's like a girl and a boy. Tilly and Dawn.
Best Tilladon.
Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so that's Dawn from now.
Okay, Dawn.
That's Dawn. So Dawn is going to attack with his bludgeoning tail. And that's 2 hits, wounds on a 3, 2 wounds, -1 rend.
Okay, they can't save.
D3 wounds each. 4.
2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to set these aside for battle shock.
Okay. Let's go over here now.
Yes,
this is
let's
scariness.
do it.
This is potentially game ending right now. Because if you don't, when it comes to my hero phase, I really want to show everybody what he can do in the hero phase when he gets in the middle of combat with his spells. So
these guys let me down.
they did let you down.
They hurt me bad.
Big time. You're gonna go with a Vargolf
Into Croak.
into Croak.
Okay, so
Croak.
so his claws, 4 attacks, 3, 3.
All 4 hit.
All 4 hit. Oh, 2 wound, -1 rend.
-1 rend. All right, with a -1 rend, this is a 5+. Both go through. Now, I'm going to say I do not fully know what to do next. If you do know, put it in the comments section. It's probably in the FAQ. As we say, we're just rushing through this tonight to try to get ready for practice, but he does have roll a dice each time you allocate a wound or mortal wound to this model. On a 4+, the wound or mortal wound is negated. The guard have roll a dice before you allocate a wound or mortal wound to a friendly Slann while it's within 3 inches. On a 2+, it goes to the guard.
So I would think you would have to roll to see if he takes it. And if he takes it, then you could roll to see if the guard
That could be one interpretation, or it could be it goes to the guard first. I don't know.
But he's not allocated a wound until he
Yeah, I know.
actually takes it.
Okay, we'll play it. It's not going to really matter
What
with
do
that
you
one.
think?
I don't know. I've seen those. The wording on that, I think, would have to require clarification. So let's just do it the way you said it right now, and if we're wrong, we'll put it in there and say that's not the way it is.
Okay.
Okay, so did he take the wounds? He took both of them.
Okay.
Okay.
So now you can see if you can allocate each of them one at a time to the guard.
Well, I can, but the guard's dead.
Okay.
So he's dead, and Croak does take 1 wound.
All right.
So he's down to 6. That is scary with that Terrorgeist having 2 attacks that he can do on me now. Forgot the shrug off on the Astrolith Bear. I did roll 1-6. So the guard is dead, but Croak did not take the wound.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay, so I have one more attack, the Fangs with my Vargolf. It's 1 dice, 3, 2. Nope.
Nope. Now's the moment of truth.
All right, here we go. Come on,
I am seriously
Terrorgeist.
predicting this is game right here.
We will see.
All right, let's go to this. What is that Terrorgeist going to do?
So the Terrorgeist is going to put all of his attacks into Croak. Or
Okay.
all of her attacks into Croak. So the first one is the Aberrant on the back. And this is 3, 3. All of them
All hit.
4 of them go through at -1.
So these are at a 5. 3 go through.
And then your shrug. Oh, those are 1 each.
They were all shrugged off.
Okay. And then the Skeletal Claws, because she is wounded, she only gets 3 attacks. And this is a 4, 3. 2.
There's a 6 and a 5 there.
They both go through at -1.
So this is a 5. No.
D3 each.
All right.
So
D3
4.
each. So 4. 3 of them are shrugged. So he took 1 wound.
All right, this is my big one.
This is the big one.
All right, so this is the Maw. It's a 4, 3, but I get to re-roll failed hits, and a 6 is an automatic 6 damage.
What?
Come on, we've played this before. You know
I
that.
say that every time too.
All right.
How many attacks? Is it? How is this affected by the bracket? How does it?
Not at all.
Not at all. And how many attacks? 4?
3.
3. Okay.
Okay, so they have to get a 4, and I get to re-roll fails. Ooh, 6 wounds.
Okay.
And then I get to re-roll this one. So that hits.
Okay.
And then these 2 wound on a 3. Both of those wound, and that is -2 rend.
So those are on 6s. No.
Okay, and those are D6 each.
Oh, yeah, this isn't good.
Oh, 4. So 10 wounds that you get to shrug.
And then you get to do it all over again.
And then we're gonna do it again!
That's cocked. It was still good. He takes 3. He's down to 3.
All right, let's do it again.
Now, I'm going to set the stage on this.
Oh, it cost me my command point.
It costs you your command point this time. You got it once free, but the second time's a command point. For those of you who do not know what he can do in combat, because a lot of people see Croak and he sits in the background, and I did that wrong last tournament. It was actually Paul, one of the guys we play with, who was saying, read his full card, get him more aggressive. And his Celestial Deliverance is where he has a 10-inch bubble that he picks 3 units and does D3 mortal wounds. He can cast that 3 times. And then Comet's Call is D3 units.
Oh my gosh, that's
will
what
do
killed me over
D3
here.
mortal wounds. He, in effect, could everybody around him do 4 D3 mortal wounds in the hero phase. That's devastating. So,
Yeah.
especially against multiple units like this. So, if I'd have gone first, it would have been between the Salamanders and him. It would have been over. It would have been over. But that's what happens with the game.
Yeah.
And if he can survive this, it's still going to be very close. But if not, I'm just going to say I'm calling it. If you kill him, my Salamanders are gone. He's gone. You're controlling the board with points. It's over. So this is it.
All right, come on, Mr. Terrorgeist or Miss Terrorgeist. All right, so this is the little guy on the back. 3 3s. 2 -1 rend.
Did not save.
1 each.
1 goes through. He's down to 2 wounds.
All right, then this is the one that does affect the bracket.
Okay.
So she only gets 3 attacks instead of 4 at this point. And this is 4 3. Nope, that's a 1.
That's a 1.
Nope.
Come on.
right,
Roll
here's
horribly
the
right here.
flaw.
This is it.
All right, 4s rerolling fails, 6s are 6 wounds.
Oh, 4's rerolling fails.
Both
No,
there's
no,
that.
no.
And then this
No,
one.
no.
What?
The 6 is, oh, that's a hit.
Yeah.
Oh, he's dead.
That's 12
good.
wounds.
I'm just going to do that right here. Yeah, there you go. There's 2 of those down. Croak is gone. Wow. Yeah.
It took a lot to take that guy down, though.
If I would have gone also, I would have had points to summon 5 more guard.
Right.
And if I could have summoned 5 more guard, there would have been 10 more wounds. 10 more wounds on top of him. That's it. My first build had 10 guard, and they would have had 10 guard around him, and in this case it might have helped, but I didn't have enough units to get all the different objective markers. Right. So I'm still tweaking this build. Right there, if I would have gone first, game was over.
Right. It was going to be either way. These
I know you felt the game was over when I came in with the Salamanders, but I was sitting here, I was telling you, I was like, no, you still got those 2 big boys. If you win priority, it's in your favor.
I really honestly thought the Bastiladons would have been able to take out at least one of the big guys fast.
Well, I rolled horribly.
Right.
Horribly with the Bastiladons. Not having the burning head, he didn't roll any 1s, but in general, really has an impact on them. I'm still debating the Bastiladons. Other people talk about the Stegodons. I'm sorry, Stegodons in my opinion, are going to get killed, wiped right off the board. Okay. This is where, with him off the table, I'm going to call it, and here's why. Tracy's going to get 3 points at the end, at the top half of turn 2. I will get my 1 and get this for 3 points. I have no chance of getting those 2 objectives the entire rest of the game as it is right now. And without that, I can never play catch-up. So from that, even in fighting, me summoning in, I might hold my own toe-to-toe. I just can't play catch-up. So it is over. Let's look at our auxiliaries. The aggressor, if you control all the objectives wholly within your opponent's territory. Almost. And I did get seize the ground. I'd be able to have a model near that objective at the end of the game. So I would have gotten 1. What were your 2?
I would not have gotten the bait because you didn't get... you may have if we kept going.
If we kept going, maybe you could have sacrificed him and had him die.
And then Vengeful Counter, actually, when we went back and read it, I think it's harder than I thought because it's not per round.
It's in one
per
turn. In one turn.
So my unit and your unit all have to be done in either my turn or your turn, not both.
Yeah, it still could. It still can happen.
It could.
There's no doubt
but,
it can happen.
It's a little bit more tricky, I think,
But
than what I thought.
when you're looking at objectives, be prepared. If you ever want to do tournament play, use these with your buddies and your friends, and then continue to play to see if you can get those. Because when you go to a tournament, they're extra points, correct?
Yeah, a lot of times they're extra points.
They're extra points, and it can make the big difference in a tournament.
And your opponent might make you play through, or it might ask you to play through because their total points might be based on that.
I was thinking, are we going to set this up to repeat the last time we went, where I just killed you and wiped you off the table, and then we go there and I lose and you come in second?
Oh, that means you get to come in second
That
tomorrow.
means I get to come in second tomorrow. All right. Well, let's go to the wrap-up.
All right, good game.
That was fun.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. I was really worried there for a while. I was very worried.
Lesson for all who are playing. Things in your army will die. And Tracy has an issue that in the first turn, if something dies, she thinks that's it, game's over. No, things die. And all you got to do is look in that first turn when I put the salamanders back there to kill your stuff, that left me open on the other side that your terror guys could come in and do some damage. Came down to turn priority. We played those same two armies 20 games. It's going to be 10-10.
10-10, yeah.
It's going to be 10-10. And that's a good way. I had a blast with it. I'm still a little torn. Seraphon, this is our first Seraphon video. You've got, Seraphon's one of the few. I think Sylvaneth, another army I play, has so many different ways to play them that have similarities but are really very different also. The different glades in Sylvaneth, and in here, whether you're going to go with Darcothian's Tail, which allows me to take things off the board, or to go with Fangs of Sotek and do all the skink, flood. You're going to see tons of that. All the way to the Coalesced with Kotal's Claw, with knights and warriors that do more damage and extra draw attacks, all the way to the big thunder lizards.
Right.
There's a lot of different ways to play Seraphon. I personally think the tournament scene is going to be dominated by either of the Starborne, the Darcothian's Tail, or the Fangs of Sotek. I really think that's where it's going to end up. But I want to try a bunch of different methods with that.
I want to get to where we can go to a whole bunch more tournaments. Let's get to that.
And it'll be interesting to see how this plays tomorrow. I like this build better than the other one, providing more options, more units, more models. I still don't know if I'll be that good if I play against something with 6 objectives. I just don't know if I have enough board control with that.
I'm wondering, with those salamanders, had you not charged them, I probably wouldn't have left the objective, and I would have sat there for another turn to be shot.
I get that, but if I would have charged them in one priority, game was over.
That's true. That's true.
That would have been game over. That would have been game over. And I also would have been able to summon more things with Lord Croak would have summoned probably 5 guard to give him more protectors.
Which would have been harder to kill him.
Harder to kill him. Then he could have gone into the 20 ghouls on that side and done the 3-inch bubble. So there's a lot of stuff there, and it's a good thinking army. That you have to really, you have so many different options, so many different things you can do. Right. Within the book,
each
and
turn
then even
you have
within a
to
build,
think,
that I really am
then you
enjoying.
get the summoning. It's like, well, what do I bring in? What's going to be most beneficial at this time?
I think that this build is going. This art book, it hasn't had a lot of tournament time yet. Mm-mm. I think it's going to be right up there with Osiarch Bone Reapers and Flesh Eater Core. I don't think it's up to Tzeentch. I don't think it's up to Slaanesh. The reason why is that there's a rock, paper, scissors aspect, that there are certain things that this army is going to be limited. And but outside of that, you talk about Tzeentch. Oh, am I the best person to fight against Tzeentch?
You might be able to go toe-to-toe.
Here's the problem. All the spells I cast, Tzeentch are gaining summoning points with.
It's true.
So
True
that's
story.
a potential weakness with that there. That I said that to Paul with the Tzeentch, and he was like, I'm just getting summoning points after all those spells you cast. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right.
And then you bring in all those pink horrors.
And then he brings in more stuff. So it's really good, but I think it's that really good in the second tier. It's at the top of that second tier army right now. In the hands of a great player, which I'm not, they're going to win some major tournaments. a lot better than Sylvaneth. A whole lot better than
Yeah,
Sylvaneth.
yeah.
But Sylvaneth to me is just so fun to play.
Right.
And this is fun
right.
also. So we'll do some other battle reports with some different builds about that.
I wonder if that burning head would have made a big difference. Or any
No, because I
difference.
I didn't roll many ones with them.
Oh, true.
The second one I did. I think I rolled 4 ones with him, so it might have
Yeah.
made a difference. It might have made a difference.
And it would have been nice for our viewers to see how effective that burning head is, because typically when you think of a lot of the endless spells, you think of them in the attack. But this is a great buffer spell.
The bound burning head's fantastic. The regular burning head is horrible because you have to place it within 3 inches of the caster, and it moves 9, and it does wounds to everything that it ends within 1 inch. So you're casting it back in your army, and if you don't win, and if you win priority and they get to move it, they're just dropping it right back on top of
and then
you
you're
and
doing
doing
damage
wounds.
to yourself.
With Seraphon and Bound, only Seraphon can move the Bound. It really takes some issues like the Burning Head and makes them tremendously better and very... a lot of people talk about the Purple Sun of Shaiish. Yes, it does you roll a dice for every model, and I think it's a 6 on a wound.
Oh.
Okay? I got the Stellar Tempest, it's a 5-6 on a wound. I
was
don't
painful.
need that.
Yeah.
This, in my build with Bastiladons, or putting it next to Salamanders, if I can't get the Hand of Glory off and allowing
Yeah.
them to reroll ones... There's a lot of real powerful things. If I put him next to Croak and he goes in there with a horde with a 3-inch bubble and gets 20 attacks, and he's re-rolling all the ones,
Nice.
there's a lot of possible things
Yeah.
you can do with him. So it's great stuff. It's fun stuff. So I hope you enjoyed watching the Seraphon, and I hope to have you see some more.
Right. Right.
Outside of that, probably on Facebook tomorrow, which you won't see this tomorrow. It takes time to edit and put it together.
Right. Yep.
But in hindsight,
True story.
I have a feeling we'll post some pictures of the tournament tomorrow and post how we've done. And thank you very much.
Thank
Anything
you
else?
so much for watching. We super appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm Steve,
And I'm Tracy.
and we are the Partners at War.
Keep playing.
Thank you.